this is gonna be a hot take, and it's either gonna get me canceled or people are gonna be like, you're right. So here we go. I'm just gonna say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore. Obviously. It happens time and time and time again. You see one black person hanging out with their group of white friends, and they're like, oh, I've known these guys for forever. We grew up with them. I'm the only black person in the high school or something like that. Especially down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you. They will turn on you quick. So not only do y'all have to be worried about the police, now you need to be worried about your group of white friends that you grew up with. And am I saying every white person's like that? No, obviously not. Okay, but better be safe than sorry, right? And that's a shame. But I just keep seeing it happen. And like over the past 2 or 3 years, especially, if you know what I'm talking about, people have just gotten louder and prouder about it. So really it all boils down to like a lack of empathy these days. That's a whole nother subject though. But yeah, and don't come for me about my hair. I just got them running 5 miles.
This entire situation with that poor boy Nolan Wells who was found unalived, it just reminds me how scary and dangerous it can be to be the only black person in white spaces. I think back to my own childhood, and I had a best friend when I was growing up. I was in middle school. We'll just call her Sarah. She was white. And I remember multiple racist things that happened that still scar me to this day as being the only black kid around white people. Now, my parents told me about racism. I was very well aware, but we went to a predominantly white church. That's a story for another day. And let me just say, a lot of my friends were white girls, and I wanted to fit in so badly because those were the friends I had. And I wanted friends. And I'm also neurodivergent, so there were a lot of things that I just missed, and these girls were not my friend. They were not my friend. I don't even know why they invited me. So one example is I went to this sleepover. My friend Sarah, we'll call her Sarah, was having a sleepover. She had this giant house, she had a pool, and I remember begging my parents if I could go because my parents were not big on sleepovers. Like, we only did family sleepovers. We were not the kids sleeping over. And so they knew her parents, and so they were like, okay, you can go. And I was so excited. So picture this, it's me, only black girl, all white girls. We're in the basement getting ready to watch movies and have candy and all the things and stay up late, and we're getting our pajamas on. My mom had done this really cute hairstyle for my gorgeous 4C, kinky, curly, coily hair. She did like cornrows in the front, and then the rest was just a puff. So it was like a very, very easy style to have. And so I was taking my puff out and getting ready to wrap my hair and put my scarf on. And I'm just in the corner, like, doing my thing. And all of a sudden I take my puff out, and we all know our hair grows to the sky. So when we take our hair out, it doesn't fall. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so I take my puff out, and it's just like there. And my friend Sarah looks over. She's like, oh my God, look at Brittany's hair. It's just like straight up. And everyone whips their head around and starts staring. And she just keeps going. She's like, oh my God, why does it do that? Da, da, da. And at the time, I was in middle school. I didn't have the discernment. I didn't have the confidence to be like, yeah, so what? This is how my hair is. This is what it does. Da, da, da. I was just like instantly put on guard. And so then I need to stop calling her my friend. She starts doing this. She starts being like, my hair doesn't do that. Can I get my hair to do that? My hair doesn't stay up. And so I just went to the bathroom and I cried, and I just like stayed in the bathroom for like 20 minutes, and I just felt so othered. But I never told my parents. I never told them about it because I knew that if I had told them, they would have been like, absolutely not. Another thing that happened when I was with the same friend, we all laid out at the pool, her pool, all day. Needless to say, I got several shades darker, as one would when you're out in the sun. And when I came inside, I remember I was just sitting there, and I was wearing a white t-shirt, and she goes, you're so black. You got so dark. Oh my God, you're like 5 shades blacker. You're so black. You're so, like, I almost can't even see you. Like, she just kept going. And at the time, I sort of laughed it off, which I'm embarrassed that I laughed it off. But at the time, I just was like, I just didn't know what to do. Again, didn't tell my parents. Another time, I went on vacation with this girl because she was really well off, and her parents would let her take a friend on vacation. Again, so excited. I begged my parents if I could go, and they were like, okay, yes, you can go. We end up traveling to one of their family members' houses, and as we're at the table eating dinner, one of them is talking about how lazy black people are, and black people are so lazy. And I think she forgot I was sitting there because they're so used to just being able to talk freely. They forgot a black kid was right there. And I remember just being like, stunned, and like I think I was shaking, but I didn't say anything. And then after the fact, I think they realized like, oh my god, Brittany was there. And so the lady like pulls me aside, which is so uncomfortable, and the mom of my friend should have been there. Like looking back on that, I'm like, she should have been there as like my advocate, but no. So this lady pulls me aside. She's like, oh, I just wanted to apologize, like I said a few things, like I just didn't realize. And I remember just kind of shaking my head, smiling, just being like and then I remember going into the shower and crying for like 30 minutes because I didn't know what to do. I felt so othered, I felt so not okay, and I didn't want to tell my parents because I was on this trip and I didn't know what to do. And it breaks my heart that there are so many other black kids who've had this experience. And I vowed to make sure my kids always had a multicultural experience because I'm like, I don't want, it was awful. And looking back on it, I'm like, girl, you should never have been friends with those girls. They were not your friends. And it's crazy to think that so many people will be like, oh, every white kid has like a little racist phase. It's like, what do you mean a little racist phase? That traumatizes other black kids. Like I still feel traumatized from that. I'm turning 40 this year and I still remember that situation like it just happened. And it's really, really alarming to me that so many black kids have to be put in these positions because white parents do not tell their kids or do not inform their children. I mean, a lot of the white parents are racist themselves. Looking back on it, her parents now, I'm like, they were kind of probably similar, like the typical, they don't say it to your face, but that's how they talk behind closed doors. And it's just really, really scary. It's really scary to know. And it just really isn't safe to be the only black person in an all white friend group. Like, call me crazy, but I've unfortunately had to learn the hard way, even after that it is not safe a lot of times.
Okay, does everybody remember the plan if she comes? I remember the plan, but I don't think she's coming. She's probably taking care of her 100 kids. Literally. Baby mother. You guys, if she does come, are we sure we want to do this? What are we going to tell the police? Listen, that's going to be the easy part. If the cops are questioning you very hard, literally just cry. I'm talking about boo-hoo cry. You can do it. It's going to be easy, guys. Don't act like I'm the only one who can't stand her. Hey guys, I made it. I'm sorry it took so long. I had to put the babies to sleep and then the older kids wanted food, but I really wanted to come. Girl, you're here? Yes, we're so excited that you made it. We're gonna have a great night. Now I want you to tell me everything that happened. We are a bit confused how there is so many of you girls and she just wound up missing and then dead.
I don't know. We were having such a good night. All of us together. She was one of my closest friends. I don't know what happened. We were all together and then we woke up and she was gone. But she was drinking so much. I don't know, I think. She has so many kids and I think she just wanted to have a really good time, so she was drinking so much. We shouldn't have allowed it.
So growing up, right, I grew up in white Michigan. It was predominantly white. My daddy, he was super strict, y'all. He was super strict. Whenever we wanted to go to one of our friends' house, he was adamant, absolutely the fuck not. It was to the point that I thought that my dad was racist, right? I'm just like, I couldn't understand it. But the more I got older, the more I was personally affected by discrimination and racism. The more I've grown up, the more I've seen for myself that these motherfuckers is in fact wicked, I'm so upset about that young man from Mississippi because I got 2 black sons. And as much as I used to think that my dad was batshit crazy, that nigga was right on point with it. We cannot trust our children, and I hate this because I know a lot of good white people, but we cannot trust our children in all white settings if they are the only black people of color, okay? Gen Zers and Gen Alpha, young men and young women, please listen. Please see what happened to that young man. That ain't no one-off situation. And even if they do come back and say, oh, it was an accidental drowning, we want the bail, this shit happens all the fucking time. And if this nothing was happening, why these kids didn't say nothing up front? They know what happened to that damn boy, but they didn't say nothing. They didn't say nothing. They waited for this boy to wash up on shore. Gen Zers, Gen Alpha, if you are the only black person and your entire friend group is white, you are not safe. Y'all really need to think about that. Us old heads, we not just saying this shit because we want to stop y'all from living life. We live life and we experienced it firsthand. That's how we can tell y'all. We love y'all, okay? I got 2 black sons. And it hurts my heart to have to tell them that, oh, if it's all white party, absolutely not. Because I know better. If you are the only person of color, you are not safe in an all-white group, okay? Let this young man be an example, because this ain't the first time, and unfortunately it ain't gonna be the last time, okay? These people are fucking wicked. Not all of them, but a lot of them is fucking wicked. And just like trauma and all this other shit get passed on through the black community through epigenetics, this hate and this violence get passed on from their ass through their epigenetics. And I like to have thought that this new generation was turning over a new leaf from their ancestors, but that shit is ingrained in their fucking DNA. Okay? That's what they be about. Stay safe, y'all.
Oh, welcome back, guys. Credit to the original video content creators. And welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time of coming across on my channel, please feel free to hit the subscription, hit the notification button, so that when we bring up contents like this, you'll be the first to be notified. So the subject matter at hand is quite scary, and based on the videos we have watched and analyzed, these ladies are simply giving you a candid opinion, both from the white lady and from the black Americans. If you are the only person who is of a different color among your friends, it is highly advisable that you stay away, because your life is not guaranteed. And like the white lady said in the early video, she said, especially in the South. And so those of us who are in the America, who reside in the South, you need to be mindful of yourself and your environment and the tendency for strange things to happen to you. And at the end of the day, such matters are dismissed casually. I think the black folks need to begin to place more priority on their lives. Parents need to be more vigilant over their children and make them understand the society which they have found themselves and have grown in. We need to understand that racism is real, and racism, no one is born a racist. Racism is taught, it is inculcated. People get to know these things by indoctrination. And so it is also important that people become aware of the society and the realities that are out there in life and not floating around the bush. But these are just my opinion, these are my observation, these are my comment. What do you guys think? Let the conversation begin in the comment section. See you on the next video.